Hello and welcome to Elecspo, and who's enjoying FIFA 21? It's alright, isn't it? Even if the defender's harder than actually being a Premier League defender. Seriously, it's ridiculous. But today I'm going to look at each Premier League club and pick out one player who I think's been overrated on the new game. Let's go. Arsenal's SHKODRAN-MUSTAFI. I know he's been downgraded, but I think FIFA were just being kind to SHKODRAN-MUSTAFI because he should be even lower. The German defender's gone down from a 79 to a 78, but I think he could have gone down even more. Mustafi's so uninspiring in defence. Every time you watch him, you're just waiting for him to make a mistake, and 9 out of 10 you'll get it. He's more regular than the local bus. A 77 would be a lot more accurate for a player Arsenal fans surely want to see the back of. Aston Villa, Courtney House. I don't understand how Courtney House can have the same rating as Ezri Konsa. One starts every week for the Villa, and everyone else is improving after 1 year in the top flight, and the other's Courtney House. They're both rated 72, so whether House needs to go down or Konsa needs to go up, something needs to change basically. It doesn't really say much for Konsa that he's got the same rating as a bloke who's barely played for Villa in the past 2 years. It'd be like me and the Master Bucks getting paid the same by YouTube. Brighton, Jose Izquierdo. Jose Izquierdo's been injured for so long he probably doesn't know how to kick a ball anymore. Christ, it sounded like a Yo Mama joke there. Jose Izquierdo's so injured he doesn't even know where Brighton is nowadays. Jose Izquierdo's so injured you give him the ball and his legs would fall off. Okay, that's nasty. It's probably been awful for him being injured for so long. Anyway, long story short, I think 74 is slightly too high for the winger. Burnley, Johann BERG GUDMUNDSSON. Another player who's been injured for a long time. I don't think that should be factored into the Icelandic winger's rating on FIFA 21, but I still think it should be a little lower than it is. 77 makes him a really good option if you're a bottom half Premier League team, but is he really that good? Comments below, let me know, because last time I started off a Burnley player I got an absolute right pasting. Chelsea, Marcos Alonso. There's absolutely no chance in hell that Marcos Alonso should be an 81. The bloke shouldn't even be at Chelsea. Seriously, he's just living off that one wing-back season under Antonio Conte, where he's constantly bailed out by one of Chelsea's 3 centre-backs. Now though there's nowhere to hide, and Alonso gets exposed time and time again. Sure, he can take a good free kick, but that alone isn't enough to warrant an 81 rating. Crystal Palace, LUKA Milivojevic. Just like Marcos Alonso, a decent free kick isn't enough to get you a decent rating. Milivojevic was in the 80s on the last game, but is now down to 79, but to be honest, he could maybe even be even lower. The Serbian's no longer the force he once was in the Palace midfield, back when he would score a pen or ping a free kick top corner every week. A 77 or a 78 would probably be a bit more accurate for the Palace skipper. Everton, Jordan Pickford. Okay, so Pickford's really good on FIFA 21. If you see my episode of the FIFA career mode, then you'll know how good he is. But let's be honest, he's overrated. He's making mistake after mistake in reality, as that cheeky grin on his face becomes more and more depleted. The potential should still be there, but a further downgrade to an 80 would probably be fitting of the man's current form. Though I'm not complaining, he's class on career mode, check it out if you haven't already. Fulham, Mario Lemina. I'm sure Man City wanted to sign this lad a few years ago. What was all that about? Well, Lemina's on loan at Fulham this season after spending a year in Turkey, and I think he's looking to get a 77 rating. He doesn't strike you as a midfielder you can rely on, which is what Fulham need, but 77 makes him a guaranteed starter on FIFA 21, the same rate as Frank Zambo-Anguissa, a man who looks reborn since returning to Craven Cottage. Leeds United, Rodrigo. The record signing is Leeds' best player on FIFA 21 with a rating of 82, but maybe that's a little too high. He just seems really overpowered. Seriously, watching that Master Bucks series, I know I've already mentioned it, but you'd think he had Lewandowski or Pele up top. But no, it's 82 rated Rodrigo banging in goal after goal. He's good, but maybe 80 or 81 would be a bit more accurate. Leicester City, AYOZE Perez. Is AYOZE Perez as good as Harvey Barnes? No. Is he better than Cengiz Under? Not for me he isn't, so why on earth do the people at FIFA think he is? The Spaniard's at 79, which is probably how good he was at his best at Newcastle, but we've never seen that at Leicester, where he's just been pretty ordinary to be honest. The only time he impressed was in that 9-0 win over Southampton, and I reckon I might have looked good on that night. Liverpool, Xherdan Shaqiri. The Reds have got some seriously big ratings this year after romping at the Premier League title. We've spoken about Jordan Henderson and Bobby Firmino before, but the only player I think we can all agree is overrated is Xherdan Shaqiri. The Swiss star's in 81. I'm not really sure how he's still clinging on to 80 status. I would have thought a 79 would make more sense. That's the same rating as the Ox. I know who I'd rather have in my team. Man City, Kyle Walker. I'm sorry, but I just don't get Kyle Walker. He's one of those players I've never warmed to. At Tottenham he just seemed to be fast and use his pace to get out of trouble. Now he's got an arrogance at Man City despite still just relying on that pace. We've seen him look limp in defence time and time again, so why oh why Gareth Southgate thought playing at centre back was a good idea is anyone's guess. On FIFA 21 is an 85, one of the toughest right backs to face in the game, but I'm not having it at all. Manchester United, Scott McTominay. Another player I just don't get. Would anyone bat an eyelid at Scott McTominay if he played for any other team? He came into a pretty crap Man United team and put in a few big tackles, but really, he's not as good as he's made out to be. FIFA reckon he's alright too, with a rating of 79. Someone tell me what Scott McTominay does to warrant that rating, please, I'm all ears. Newcastle United, Fabian Schär. Newcastle's best centre-back on the game is Fabian Schär with 78, but I for one don't think that's true. Fabian Schär's great. If you play him in a back three, let him spray passes about and roam forward like peak Philippe Albert. But put him in a defensive two and actually ask him to defend, then you've got problems. Lascelles and Fernandes are much stronger in defence than Schär, which is why they start and Schär doesn't. And for that, he has to be lower. Sheffield United, Jack Rodwell. Okay, the Sheffield United squad seems pretty fairly rated after that blockbuster season, but I've got to pick someone, so I'll just go with Jack Rodwell, which might shock you. But yes, Jack Rodwell is technically still a Premier League player. He's a 67 rating and that's too high, give him a 10 or something. I'm sure Sunderland fans will agree with me. Southampton, Shane Long. Shane Long is a 74 and so is Che Adams. If I was a Southampton fan, I know who I'd rather have an attack. Shane Long used to be alright-ish, and his pace in behind can still cause problems. He's basically just Jamie Vardy without the ability to finish and neck bottles a blue wicked. Tottenham, Eric Lamela. You often forget how long Eric Lamella's been at Tottenham. I'm honestly surprised he's still there. To be fair, I thought at least this summer he'd get the number 11 ripped off his back and given to Gareth Bale. But Lamella's still there, and still Tottenham's number 11, and still an 80 rated player on FIFA, but I'm not sure that's fair. If his rating was based on feigning injury after a tap to the face or scoring Rabonas, then fair enough, but I think there's more to it than that, so an 80 is over the top for me. West Brom, Kieran Gibbs. At 75, Kieran Gibbs is actually one of West Brom's best players, but Baggies fans, can you honestly tell me that's true about Kieran Gibbs? Maybe a few years ago when he was in an Arsenal shirt, but his stock has dropped dramatically in recent years, that's why no one tried to save him from the Championship. West Ham, Robert Snodgrass. I've literally got no idea how on earth Robert Snodgrass has got himself a 77 rating. Maybe he knows someone at FIFA, maybe he tampered with the database, maybe he put in a ridiculously late tackle on the bloke who does the ratings and threatened to do it again if he didn't give him a bigger but respectable rating of 77. Who knows? And finally Wolves, Romain Saiss. Okay, I didn't have a clue who to pick for Wolves, and Romain Saiss looks like a laugh. I'm sure he doesn't take FIFA ratings too seriously. He's a 78, but would anyone really throw a strop if he was 77? I don't know, this one was hard, okay, the video was basically over, give me a break. I could hardly pick the goal machine Raul Jimenez or one of the million Portuguese players they've got, could I? Okay, so there we have it, that is every Premier League club's most overrated player on FIFA 21. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Elecspo. You can follow me on Twitter, I'm at HITCJames. Don't forget to check out the FIFA 21 career mode that's dropped earlier this week. But as always, we will see you around.